So, Tone, where are we going?
All right, let's go to
We're going ocean, right?
the city. No.
Yeah, ocean.
No,
Ocean, right?
no,
Ocean?
no.
So instead of being dead, we get a flashback of Sora and Riku talking about fighting a monster that might be in this cave. When they get in there, it's just the wind. This is when they first find the door to the world, not that it really mattered to them. This is also where they first discuss leaving the island there when they're older, going on real adventures. Oh, how little they know. But enough dilly-dallied, Sora, we're inside a whale! Donald and Goofy found Pinocchio, who's currently digging through items before running off to Geppetto. Having a chat with them, it seems their boat was also swallowed up by Monstro, which isn't surprising considering Monstro is the size of a world. Chatting with him, Geppetto says he was searching all over for Pinocchio. Man, I sure hope Pinocchio doesn't wander. Oh, god damn it. We go after him and Sora decides the way to handle this is by letting the child come back, and then instantly turn his back on said child. I know Sora is a kid too, but come on. Doing this lets Riku sneak up on us. He says he's been playing with Pinocchio and runs off with him. Great, thanks Riku. I do love my live reaction in this moment though. Riku's such a fucking jackass in this game. It's like, I know something, Sora. I'll never tell though, bye. It's like, okay. Now, getting around Monstro is pretty strange. The way it's laid out and everything looking the same with these multicolored cell walls, it's really easy to get lost, but it'll be fine. We do get to show off how our new max MP of 7 is just really strong. It's only up from here. Get excited. After enough wandering around, we see a scene of Maleficent and Riku, with Maleficent once again wondering why Riku still cares about Sora, since Sora clearly abandoned him, obviously. Riku says he was just messing with him, but Maleficent reminds Riku to beware the darkness within his heart, as the heartless prey upon it. Riku then shouts at Maleficent, and that's that. We then see the trio chasing Pinocchio and run into Riku again. We have another argument about Sora abandoning Kairi, but before it can escalate, we hear Pinocchio scream. We better go save him! Damn, I guess Pinocchio still is just a rat in a cage. Interestingly, in this fight against the Parasite Cage, Riku helps us along with Donald and Goofy. Hard to tell what he's doing since this is also where I give Simba a shot. Sadly, Simba does not do a lot of damage since he does the same type of damage as Gravity at max charge, which 90% of bosses have a very high resistance to, but you know, whatever. But after a pretty easy fight, the Parasite Cage jumps further into Monstro. This also gives Goofy the skill Cheer, which is a passive that lets us have summons out for longer. Very helpful for those that love to use summons. We hop down to chase after Parasite Cage, which leads us back to Monstro's mouth. Don't question it, you'll just hurt yourself. Here we find Riku kidnapping Pinocchio despite Geppetto's pleas. Apparently Riku wants Pinocchio because he's a puppet that has a heart, so he can possibly help someone who's lost theirs. You know, it's funny thinking about this in retrospect, you know? Sora wonders if this is about Kairi, but Riku doesn't answer and simply chooses to walk away. Well, no time like the present. We better find all the items in this room that we missed. Most importantly is the Water Gleam, which will later allow us to summon Dumbo. We also open this chest that has the ability High Jump, extremely helpful for getting around, and since it's a shared ability, we don't need to worry about taking up AP. Thank the Lord. With High Jump, we use it to pursue Riku into the stomach. Do not know how that works from this angle, but again, don't question it. We demand Riku release Pinocchio, but apparently Pinocchio lost his heart to the Heartless in the span of like 10 minutes. Riku uses this as an opportunity to ask Sora to join him, with this maybe being able to help Kairi. Obviously, Sora refuses.
You'd rather fight me? Over a puppet that has no heart?
Heart or no heart, at least he still has a conscience.
While Sora and Riku argue, Jiminy runs over to check on Pinocchio, which leads to this.
I'm not gonna make it. Oh. I guess I'm okay.
And then the Parasite Cage comes in with a steel chair! Riku dips, so it's time for us to kick its ass. The second fight against Parasite Cage is way more difficult since the area is smaller and there's acid in the room that will damage us when we stand on it for too long. But really, the real threat is the immense amount of damage it does, which does not go well for us, especially on this attempt I tried spamming Gravity with Bambi. Pro tip, use Thunder instead if you're gonna do this. Oh, come on. Yeah, this is just annoying more than anything. Oh, good start. And remember guys, we're playing this on normal, not proud mode. I do wish there's one more piece of magic we really need to go sicko mode on bosses like this though. We don't have it yet. There we go, we got him. Whew. Yeah, that's a wake-up call. Welcome back. It's been a day. You don't have your skills from yesterday. Here's a boss that's really annoying. Enjoy. With Parasite Cage's demise, we get the power of time, giving us the spell Stop. Excellent spell, allowing us to slam gym enemies for a bit when they're frozen in place. Though they won't take immediate damage while Stop is in effect, it is way more helpful at first than you think it is. Trust me. We then see Riku aboard Captain Hook's ship. He looks over an unconscious Kairi, with Maleficent saying the Heartless have taken her heart. So Kairi's simply a lifeless puppet right now. Oh man, I wonder why she said that. Oh shit, can't figure that out. Riku asks what he can do, to which Maleficent informs him about the 7 Princesses of Heart. And if they gather all of them, it will open the door to all worlds, which will absolutely give Riku a way to restore Kairi. No tricks, we swear. Maleficent then gives Riku a gift, the ability to control the Heartless. Aw shit, he's gonna go sicko mode now. Back with the crew, Monstro sneezes them out, so we're finally free. Fantastic, no more whales for a while, please. Sora then says his magic might be as good as Donald's, which of course Donald refutes. So to settle it, we head back to Traverse Town, talk to Merlin, who gives us the Spellbinder keychain, which I equip with zero hesitation because since it increases our max MP by 2, it gives us a whopping 9 max MP. Good shit. We also talk to the Fairy Godmother to get our Dumbo ready for summons. Dumbo is okay, being able to spray enemies with a continuous stream of water for decent damage, though I only used him a single time. Does make you invincible while he's out, so that's nice. And now, let me show you the beauty of stop and jump canceling. Do it one more time.
Deep freeze, deep freeze, deep freeze, deep freeze. Deep freeze.
Jumping too short.
Deep freeze.
Yeah, so basically when something's stopped, all the damage that you do to them is stored. I hope you're ready. Let us test out this newfound power. There's a new tournament in the Coliseum, so let's give it a shot. Awesome, cool, thank you, Squeenix. Oh, arrogance, you sly dog, killing me once again. I'll be back later. We head out and arrive to another world that totally didn't get my stream muted every single time. Square Enix, what the fuck?
Did you cut to commercial? No? Did you not? Why not? Just fade. Just fade to black. And fade. There we go.
Nightmare Before Christmas. Also known as Baby's First Goth Media. That might sound insulting, but I do really like the movie. What's also interesting about this world is that the trio changes forms a bit so they actually can blend into the world better. I don't know who on the design team made this choice, but thank you, it's really nice. Walking into town, we find a group of Heartless, but they don't do anything. Turns out they're just backup for the main attraction, Jack Skellington. He's also been using the Heartless for his Halloween show, but since he thinks their movements are too stiff, he heads over to the doctor's to fix them up. We should probably go check that out, yeah? Getting to Dr. Finkelstein's lab, which I'm just gonna call him the doctor because fuck reading that every single time. We see him and Jack trying to figure out why the ghosts won't move like they wanted. And Jack decides, well, I'll let him say it.
Why, of course. The Heartless need a heart.
Thanks, Jack. Real good peepers you got there. The doctor says hearts are easy to make, and Jack just reads the instructions, which say,
Make a heart. First, take a container with a lock.
I love that the doctor just has this ready to go. But they can't lock it, because why would you make a lock without the key of some kind? Yeah, why would you do that? And with zero hesitation, Sora decides to unlock the heart, no questions asked. Sora, my dude, my guy, my main squeeze, let me make this perfectly clear for you. There is a Heartless in the room. Well, I tried. Now, the Doctor and Jack have a chance to... Oh, no, there they go. Man, I sure hope nothing bad comes of this.
The Heartless are completely out of control! We can't stop them!
Yeah, welcome to the find out phase, lads. Unsurprisingly, the Heartless are now acting like we'd expect them to, trying to destroy Halloween Town. And since we have a total of 9 MP, we chew through these Heartless like they're nothing. God, I love magic in this game. Our goal right now is to find Sally, and lucky us, she's in the graveyard. Man, I sure hope I don't have to constantly kill the Heartless in this room to get through it every time. That'd be awful. Anyways, Sally asks if something's wrong. Jack says no, and then asks Sally for memory, to which she gives Jack a forget-me-not herb. Close enough, I guess. Sally does ask Jack to try something else, but if you've seen the film, you know Jack's completely focused on one thing and everything else is noise. So we head back and the three little shits emerge, Lock, Shock, and Barrel, and they immediately plan to tell Oogie Boogie about the heart Jack's making. God, these kids deserve to get their shit rocked. Getting back to the doctors, we give them the forget-me-not, but then we're told the heart means surprise. I'm surprised you attempted this experiment without all the required materials. Do I gotta get Dr. Doppler out here and we have an argument about who's the worst scientist? We then cut to Oogie Boogie and he decides he's going to steal the heart that Jack's making and use it to control the Heartless. You know, man, you could just ask Maleficent. Time to get back to the graveyard.
Well, no, don't come back. Why'd you fade back in? I got other evil stuff to do.
On our way through, we find some white mushroom Heartless. These guys you want to hit with a specific spell depending on how they act, giving you prizes if you're correct. Though the items are nothing to write home about, so don't worry about them too much just yet. They're far more important later. For now, we hop into this coffin to get further into the graveyard, play a Simon Says game, and get a Jack in the Box, which is the surprise we need. Time to go all the way back to the doctor's lab again. Sure hope that's not a recurring thing in this world. And now with the heart complete, it's time to finally... I'm gonna kill some kids today. Luckily, Zero, not that Zero or that Zero, is here to save the day by leading us to the bat, I mean the children. So it's time to run all the way back to the graveyard. But at least we get to see the iconic hill from the hit video game Okage Shadow King. I bet like 3 people out there know what that game is. If you don't, I have a video on it, so there you go. I also didn't totally fall into this passage here, sending me all the way back to the town's plaza. Nope, didn't happen. I wasn't pissed at all. I had to fight all the way back. No, sir. We finally make our way to Oogie Boogie's mansion, to which Jack says he's not at all surprised that Oogie Boogie is involved, and really neither am I. He is the main villain of the movie, after all. And now it's time to make our ascent to the top of the house, which is done in part by this platform we have to start up with fire, and I love that it instantly leaves when I start it. It's great. What's also great is Hurricane Blast and me flying over the edge as I fight these Heartless. No, Sora, no! Oh, God damn it. But after a bit of work, we finally get upstairs and... Alright, that's it. I'm waterboarding these kids. Let's get them, Dumbo! Damn, they have tiny hitboxes. It's just like the rat in Dragon Ball FighterZ. But tiny hitboxes or not, we dunk on the kids easy peasy. This doll of Goofy just beating the shit out of Barrel at the end of that. Beautiful. Love to see it. Of course, they did instantly shift the blame and fight amongst themselves. At least they told us Oogie Boogie did it. Wait, we already knew that. I then proceed to get extremely lost while trying to open the screen door. Turns out I didn't interact with the switch in the kids' room, so yep, that's cool. It didn't take me like 15 minutes to come back and try that again. No, this area absolutely isn't getting on my nerves in the slightest with its layout. Nope, that's great. But getting inside, we find Oogie Boogie, and he devours the heart we stole. And rev up those fryers, it's time to deal with one of the worst bosses in the game. Oogie Boogie locks us in a giant roulette wheel. What we have to do is wait for Oogie Boogie to stop throwing dice and traps at us, and then lock him in place with these buttons on the wheel. We then get to beat him up for around 10 seconds, and then we're kicked off the platform and have to do it again. This is the entire boss fight. Now, as some of you may know, I do not like bosses that force me to sit and wait before I can do something. It makes me feel like the game's just wasting my time, and I could just be doing something else entirely and more interesting. Sure, I'm dodging the dice and attacks, and some of the dice I can actually knock back, but that's not a lot. I came here to play Kingdom Hearts, not Daigata Defenders. We can't attack him with magic while we're on the roulette, but Squeenix knew this and gave him a fuck ton of resistance to everything. Oh, and he can heal. Thank you, Squeenix. Very cool fight. This fight only lasts 5 minutes, but I want those 5 minutes back. With his defeat, Oogie Boogie splits into seams, quite literally, and reduced to nothing but bugs, Sora also shows that he's far more merciful than Santa, and he doesn't crush what I'm assuming is the main bug. Alright guys, we got the heart. Time to head home. Man, I can't believe Square Enix would rip off Monster House 4 years before it came out. We now get to climb all over Oogie Boogie's house to destroy the many shadow blobs on it to beat him. And funny enough, despite having to climb up a giant structure that wants me dead, I actually enjoy this fight a lot more since I'm actively doing something. And that's something being fearing for my life when several projectiles flying from off screen. This is where I start using arrow in boss fights more regularly, and I highly recommend it. That 50% damage reduction is amazing. And after a significant amount of time hitting these shadow globs that have way too much health and defense, we defeat Oogie Boogie for real. This levels us up and finally gives us guard. Let's go! With Oogie defeated for real, his mansion crumbles, revealing the world's keyhole. We lock it and get the power of the stars again, upgrading gravity to Gravity Rock. The new damage numbers are looking pretty nice. In the aftermath, Jack apologizes for not listening to Sally, but she says it's alright. They come up with another plan for Halloween together. Jack then says he's canceling the Heartless Halloween Festival, which is probably the best news we've heard all day here, and gives us the Pumpkinhead keychain. It's excellent for hitting enemies with as it has long reach and double crit rate. Good stuff. Sadly, it is time for the not good stuff.
It has all sorts of good, it has fish in it, and it...
Aw shit, here we go again. Everyone's favorite world, Atlantica. We enter and the trio changed once again. Don't make me play this. I know my PNG model is a Homestuck Sea Dweller, but I don't want to be here. And neither does Ariel or her friends as they crash into us. Ariel then wonders who we are since we look kinda weird. Surprised considering most people don't even say anything about Sora and the gang. Sora's asking how to swim well doesn't help their strange case. But Ariel decides to have Sebastian teach us. He instantly protests, but Ariel responds with,
Oh, don't worry.
and that's that. So we get a little tutorial on swimming, which is fairly straightforward to do, cool. And then the Heartless attack, so you know what that means. Underwater combat, my favorite. It's really not that bad, just jank. Just like the rest of this game, really. But after we defeat the Heartless, Sebastian says that if they chase the three of them all the way there, then the palace could be in danger too. We better go save Triton. You know, the most powerful guy in the movie. Okay, yeah, sure. Thankfully for us, we just follow these Triton logos around. We'll get there in no time. Probably goes for the Heartless too, but we'll roll that stone when we come to it. I am grateful that they are here though, because it's really easy to get lost in these areas. What really sucks right now is that Atlantica doesn't let us use Ripple Drive. In fact, we can't use any of our unique finishers in here. So when we run out of NP, we're at a bit of a disadvantage. Good thing we got Pumpkinhead for that extra damage. Making our way over to the palace, we're pursued by the Heartless inside, but Triton instantly obliterates them. Man, I wish I could do that right now. Triton says it's all thanks to his trident, and I hope he knows he's going to lose it by bringing in so much attention to it. Sorry buddy, that's just how plots work. Triton is about to argue with Ariel about her leaving the palace again, but he's cut short as he sees Sora and the others. We tell him we're searching for the keyhole, but he instantly shuts us down, even stopping Ariel when she tries to speak for us. This makes everyone storm off, with Triton wondering if he said the right thing. I'm gonna go with no. I know you want to protect her and all, man, but come on now. He then asks Sebastian about the origin of the Heartless, and it seems they're coming from Ursula's, which surprises neither Triton nor me.
I knew it! That sea witch is up to no good again!
We then follow Ariel to her grotto, where she shares the same desire that Sora had to explore other worlds, always wanting more. Wait, Ariel then suggests we try to find a keyhole, but Sora saying that Triton didn't really want us to go find it. This makes Ariel snap back, saying that Triton didn't understand her at all. Unknowingly to her, Sebastian was just within earshot of this outburst, as were Ursula's eels. And man, Ursula is just thrilled at Ariel being this naive. Can we just not do that camera angle again? Thanks. I would really appreciate it if that camera angle never happened a second time. But now it's time for us to find the keyhole. Where is it? I don't know. We've given no leads or breadcrumbs or anything. We just gotta search around this giant fucking area and find it. There's a good 15 minutes of me wandering around without knowing where to go, especially because so many of these areas have 3 to 4 exits and all of them are blue. And you know what we have to do? Grab onto this dolphin in an adjacent area that happens to swim against this current into another area, thus getting you farther. Oh yeah, obviously. I say this is adventure game logic, but it comes nowhere close to the worst I've ever seen of it. It's just annoying. This leads us to a sunken ship. Ooh. We We swim inside, get attacked by a shark, and we find a crystal trident inside. It's just like that one at Ariel's place. Time to swim all the way back in. Look out, Sora, it's a whole ass shark! I love when Stop works on bosses. Bringing the Crystal Trident back and placing it in the plaque in Ariel's room, Triton storms in, saying Ariel disobeyed him again and destroys the Trident in a fit of rage. Hey man, take it easy with that foreshadowing. This makes Ariel swim out and allowing Triton to talk with Sora privately, and he knew all along we were from another world and is here to berate us for meddling in the affairs of them. Ah, yes, there it is. Glad the world order is only relevant when we need it to be. And of course, it's one of the more controlling Disney characters that has to do this. But after chewing Sora out, Trident Gum leaves and tells Sora to piss off. We then see Ariel crying, which allows Ursula to swoop in and take advantage of her depressed state. For what? Triton's Trident, of course. Are in the guise of finding the keyhole so Ariel can explore other worlds, just like Sora. Better get in there and no, too late. Luckily, Ursula is unable to find the keyhole, so she just retreats. With Ariel regretting what just happened, she rejoins us and we go to stop Ursula. I sure hope it's close by. In the meantime, check out how powerful Gravity Rod is. I love Gravity. You know what's funny is that Gravity can still level up one more time into Graviga, so we're almost, it's not at its full potential yet. As for where to go, if you guessed all the way back at the sunken ship, you win! Can you please stop doing this for the later areas, Squeenix? Sebastian presses a button for us, which I'm sure Sora could have just hit, fucking Keyblade, like come on now, and we enter Ursula's domain. In a couple of minutes, we're ready to fight her. Now Ursula, which sea would a sea witch see if a sea witch could see sea? I gotta stop doing this. But now it's time to listen to Triton's advice and hit the cauldron with magic. I am extremely underwhelmed. So what we have to do is hit the cauldron with the correct magic, so it explodes and it stuns Ursula. There is no way of knowing what spell we need to use, so just use all of them until one works. You can't fight Ursula if she's not stunned. Why? Well... this laugh will haunt me in my nightmares. This whole section is exacerbated by Ursula being completely immune to magic, so I can't just spam Blizzard or Thunder to deal with her. And while she's spinning, the Keyblade can't do shit. So we have to use the Cauldron, then hit her. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This sucks. I get the idea, but I think some better indicators could have helped a lot. Instead, Ursula's fight feels a lot like Oogie Boogie's, which is not a compliment. But we're still able to beat her, leveling us up and giving us Aerial Sweep. A handy attack allowing you to spin around the Keyblade against enemies above us. Very handy. You know, when we're not underwater. But back in Atlantica, Flotsam and Jetsam explode. Ursula swims off, so we have to chase her. Luckily, Ariel gives us the mermaid kick ability, letting us get around this godforsaken world a little bit faster. You could have given this to me far sooner, you know that, right? We use this newfound speed to pursue Ursula into this big open area where she uses the Trident to become massive, which is something she really likes to do in this series. However, what she doesn't know is that I've played Noita for almost 300 hours and did a little prep work. Who's ready for a little wizard trolling? Not so fast, you're right.
Force! Stop! Force! Force! Stop! Force! Force! Stop! See ya! See ya! Here! See ya! See ya! Stop! Force! Force!
Gaming.
Force! Force! Stop!
I'm out. How'd that do? Holy shit, look at that damage. Shout out to this comment on Reddit that helped me fully understand the stop plus gravity combo. There's a lot more bosses in this game that are vulnerable to stop, so be sure to give it a shot on your own. But since Sora's out of blue power, we have to fight Ursula normally now, which can be quite tricky since Ursula has this move that spams lightning pillars everywhere, and she tries to suck us toward her to bite us. Two attacks that can easily delete you, as it did on my first attempt.
My name is Wizard. Lawton the Wizard. And while I have no grudge against you...
It do be that way sometimes. But with Ursula defeated, we get Thunder upgraded to Thundara. We finally return the Triton to Trident, and he asks us to seal the keyhole. You know, that thing we wanted to do from the start but he wouldn't listen? Love to see it. Oh, and the keyholes in Ariel's grotto. Doesn't feel like the best idea to have our house there, but what do I know? We head over, use the trident to spawn the keyhole, and lock it. Another happy day. Ariel then asks what Sora's world is like, and he apologizes for lying. Ariel accepts it and says that if Sora can travel to different worlds, then maybe so can she. You know what, Ariel? Maybe one day you will. For giving Ariel this hope and saving her father, she gives us the Crab Claw keychain. It's okay. It gives us a balance between physical and magic, though I'd recommend swapping to Spellbinder when you're going to do big damage with magic. But guess what, guys? We can finally leave. Get the fuck out of here. Let's go to the next world. Get me out. Get me out. Place sucks.
Yarg! I finally got me booty!
As we fly to the next destination, a giant ship flies by and rams us. Welcome to Neverland, kind of. It's mostly Captain Hook's ship, and there is not a speck or piece of dirt anywhere of any land. But on this ship, we find Riku. Sora asks where Donald and Goofy are, with Riku saying he must not care about his old friends. Riku then shows Sora he's found Kairi. She's not looking so hot, dude. Maybe you should get her like a water or a Gatorade or something. Sora tries to approach but is stopped by Hook. Sora then demands to know why Riku's siding with the Heartless, and Riku reveals that he can control them, to which Sora has the best reaction to.
You're stupid!
After this, Riku makes the Heartless version of Sora appear and drops Sora into the brig. Riku then tells Hook and Smee to keep an eye on Sora, but they refuse to go into the hold since it's full of Heartless. At least we don't have to deal with them just yet, though we do get to see Hook have a small panic attack at the possible sound of a crocodile that attacked him, which is understandable, considering. In the hold, Sora gets Donald and Goofy up to speed, but then we see Peter Pan fly in.
I'm the answer to your prayers.
I did not ask for a twink. Go away.
Okay then. Fine. Have it your way.
But you're stuck in here too, aren't you?
He's here to find Wendy with the help of Tinkerbell, though it turns out there's another girl with Wendy, which makes Tinkerbell leave in a jealous fit, which is very in character for her, honestly. Pan then agrees to work with Sora until they find Wendy, and we can now explore the ship. First things first, this place is cramped. There's only a few areas that aren't, but those that are can suffer from the camera not wanting to let you see what you're doing when you fight. Speaking of that Shadow Sora from earlier, he's here to follow us around fights in almost every room. He can be dangerous, however, he is vulnerable to stop, so... Sadly, he's got too little health for the gravity trick we use on Ursula to be effective, so just beat his ass when he shows up. But after that, Goofy asks Pan how he can fly, to which he offers to teach us. He has Tinkerbell sprinkle us with pixie dust, and... it doesn't work. Oh well. Then cut to Hook and Riku talking about the 7 Princesses of Light, or Heart, what I don't know, it's one of the two. Apparently Wendy isn't one of them. Riku then tells Hook to hoist the anchor and leave Wendy behind. I guess you're just gonna let a trial drown then, huh, Riku? I see how it is. Hook then says Kairi's heart was devoured by the Heartless and it's probably gone forever. But Riku's determined to fight it, and no middle-aged man is gonna stop him. Hook then gets a call from Smee informing him that everyone escaped the hold and that they're with Peter Pan. Hook tells Smee to bring the hostage to his cabin. That's probably not good. Back with the gang, they found Wendy, though they're a floor below them, but hey, it's something. Sora asks if Kairi's there, and Wendy confirms that she is, though she hasn't moved at all. Yeah, Kairi's still not looking great. Sora reaches out to her, and Kairi just barely moves her arm towards Sora. This happiness is short-lived, however, as Wendy and Kairi are hauled off by Hook's pirates. Quickly uses Green Trinity on the floor and climb up, getting us to Hook's cabin, but sadly we're too late, as Riku takes Kairi away and summons Anti-Sora to fight us. Time for another boss fight. Anti-Sora is, well, Sora, but evil. Luckily, he only uses Sora's Keyblade attacks. If he used our magic, we'd probably be reduced to ashes on the spot. Just like Shadow Sora before, Anti-Sora is also vulnerable to stop. Though I did try the funny combo, he was in a weird position on the couch, so Gravity Rod just disappeared before it worked. He is vulnerable to gravity, by the way, it just didn't work here for some reason. With my NP spent, I'm stuck doing normal combos and dealing damage with Ripple Drive, just like the peasant that I am, with the occasional cast of Stop for extra damage, of course. The most difficult part of this fight starts when we get Anti-Sora down to around half HP, where he summons copies of himself. They don't have a lot of health, but because of the awkward nature of Hook's cabin, you can get overwhelmed pretty easily. This is also where I learned that if you guard in this game and it deflects an attack, you can't guard again as Sora is staggered, which really sucks considering my muscle memory from all the other games that do let you do that. It gets a little hairy near the end, but we are able to take out Auntie Sora. We then drop down to what I'm assuming is the other hold, and we find Wendy passed out. As Pan goes to check on her, Tinkerbell storms off in jealousy again. This is where Pan separates from us since he fulfilled his end of the deal. Fair enough. Later, Peter. We then run back upstairs and face off against Hook on the deck of the ship. He tells us Riku ran off to where Maleficent's residing, Hollow Bastion. He also reveals that he took Tinkerbell hostage. How does this always happen to her? It's not looking good, Sora, but it's fine. You have stop magic, so you can just... Damn, that's right, we can't do that in cutscenes. Shit. So Hook gives us an ultimatum. Either give him the Keyblade or walk the plank. Before Hook can follow up on that, the crocodile that took his hand is back, so Hook runs into his cabin, leaving everything to Smee. I'm not leaving anything out, by the way. This cutscene is just as weirdly paced. But with Sora choosing the plank, he reaches the edge and remembers what Pan told him. He just has to believe and he can fly. Let's test that theory.
Change the world. My final message. Goodbye.
Just kidding, of course Sora can fly. And while Smee is surprised at this, Pan swoops in and gets Tinkerbell back from him. Of course Panfer come back for us. What, you stupid? This also, for some reason, gives us the power of healing, upgrading Cure to Cura. But also, now we can fly. But only in Neverland. It's far more fun than using swimming in Atlantica in my opinion, so it gets points. And after beating the Heartless, we trick Hook to go outside, and Pan stabs him in the ass. Time to fight Captain Hook, and he can be really dangerous. Not only does he do big damage with his rapier, but the battleship Heartless flying around can also do big damage, or, like I unfortunately found out, can lob firebombs, setting Hook on fire as well, making him run around blindly and... Yes, so be careful with fire magic in this fight. On the run back, I decided to equip the Pumpkinhead keychain instead, since at the time I was convinced Hook was immune to stop. He's not. But I switched my tactics from spamming magic to actually fighting Hook in a proper duel. Well, as proper as a fight between 3 people at once can be for him. And I do have to say, I love how much of Hook's personality is shown up in this fight. Like here, he gets really mad at us, charges straight at us, leaping way higher than he normally does. But when he realizes he's going over his ship, he cartoonishly flies back to the center before realizing he's not staying on solid ground and falling back down. It's such a brief little thing, but I absolutely love it. As for the actual strategy we use, we focus on attacking Hook, though we have to be careful because if he gets hit enough, he'll rush us with his rapier attacks, and they are unblockable. But after he does enough of them, which is about 3, he becomes tired, so we can rush in using Sonic Blade for big damage. You can also just fly off the boat away from Hook and heal yourself if you have to, which is very in the spirit of Peter Pan. I also learned that you can just walk out the door here mid-boss fight, restock your items, come back, and Hook doesn't get his own health back. I feel like that might have been an oversight, but we defeat Hook and we level up again, giving us the Leap Racer. One of the best support abilities in the game. It makes us invincible while we cast Cure. Good shit. We then knock Hook overboard, landing him right in front of the crocodile from before, making him run away across the ocean. Later, Hook. This also grants us Ars Arcanum. Similar to Sonic Blade, Ars Arcanum is a special attack that we can use on the ground close to an enemy at the cost of 3 MP. It has Sora rush to the enemy with a 7-hit combo, after which you can extend it with the bash command that's added for a total of 13 hits. The fun part is that the final hit guarantees a critical hit, and Sora's invincible during the initial combo. Excellent ability, even if we're leaning more into magic this run. Back in Neverland, Goofy worries about Kairi not having her heart, but Donald shushes him, letting Sora revel in his new ability to fly. Sora's excited to tell Kairi about it too. Oh man, how do we tell him? But Pan suggests Sora bring Kairi here so she can try flying sometime. With that, Sora's determination to save Kairi is renewed, and he can't wait to tell her all about his adventures. Then Tinkerbell comes in, telling Pan something about the clock tower. You fly over to Legally Distinct Big Men and meet Wendy, but despite what Tinkerbell said, Wendy has nothing to say because she's one of the most unimportant characters in all of the Kingdom Hearts. Sorry, Wendy. We didn't fly around Huge Harry for a while before finding one of the hands of the clock isn't where they should be. We smack it back into place, revealing Neverland's keyhole. Though we're technically in England right now, let's not worry about that. We lock the keyhole and get another Navi-Gummy block, then get the flashback from before where Sora and Riku want to explore outside the islands. But this time they're leaving the cave. Riku turns around seeing the keyhole for the Destiny Islands. Snapping back to reality, Riku is having a good time with Maleficent. Maleficent chastises Riku for bringing Kairi here without a vessel, whatever that means, and to not rely so much on the dark powers as it could cost him his heart. But before Riku could say anything, we hear what sounds like a beast's roar echo throughout the room. Maleficent then explains it was the one who World will destroy shortly after they stole its princess. Maleficent says Riku shouldn't fear him as he's no match for Riku's power. In fact, it's time to give Riku another power-up, and it's green, my favorite. Back to the boys, Pan and Wendy say goodbye as Pan plans on returning to Neverland. Tinkerbell gets jealous again, and Pan entrusts her to us, allowing us to summon her whenever we want. Tinkerbell's summon is support focused, giving the entire party regen while she's active. She's even able to revive Sora if he's defeated while she's active. An exceptionally helpful summon, though I personally don't use it. I like the more damaging ones. We also get the Fairy Heart keychain, but since we already have far better options, I wouldn't bother with it, he said, knowing full well past him used it. But we get one of the best abilities in the series. Glide does exactly what it says, allowing us to glide in any world, also extremely helpful for aerial movement and avoiding damage. You're gonna want to equip this, please do equip this. Well, time to head back to Traverse Town and get those Navi Gummies installed. Again. While waiting on Sid, Donald and Goofy remind Sora that he shouldn't worry since everything will work out. Yes, we need more toxic positivity. Yes, more! This will not impact Sora at all as the series goes forward. No siree. Sora even points out they haven't found the king yet, but Donald and Goofy say it'll be fine as long as they stick together and believe in themselves. It'll all work out. At this, Sora takes like the sickest weed ever. This gives Sora a vision of her grandma expositing to a child. She says people used to live in the light, loving its warmth, but as people are prone to do, they began fighting over it, wanting the light for themselves, thus creating darkness. This darkness eventually swallowed the entire world, but with several children of light surviving, they eventually rebuilt the worlds with the little light they still had, which is where we live now, but the true light is still locked away, which is why the worlds are still separated. But when the door to darkness is opened, the true light will return. Okay, Grandma, let's get you back to bed now. But before we can drag Grandma's carcass back to bed, she says that if we believe in the light, it will allow our hearts to push away the darkness. It's revealed she was talking to Kairi all along. Oh my god! Sora snaps back from the vision, though he's not able to explain what he saw, wondering if Kairi called out to him. Sid finally reports back that the Nav Gummies have been installed and we're ready to go. But first, it's time to make some pit stops. Our first spot is Geppetto's place, where we can find the Wishing Star keychain. Doesn't look like much, but this bad boy always lands a critical hit. We then finally stop by the 100 Acre Wood again, this time to Rabbit's house. And it's here we help Pooh break and enter so we can steal the honey that Rabbit has stockpiled, by which I mean just this one jar, but still, Pooh, please, control yourself just a little bit. We also have to help Pooh get back out by helping Rabbit make some carrot top juice. Unfortunately, Tigger comes in ready to ruin the entire carrot crop. So it's time to play Pong with Tigger. This takes a while. But after we that for a bit too long, Tigger bounces away and Rabbit gives Pooh the juice. Alright, time to free him. Well, at least he's out now. With that, we're done in 100 Acre Wood. For now. We leave, wrap up our business in Traverse Town, and I finally give Donald and Goofy new weapons after not upgrading their gear for the whole game. But now, it's time to get revenge on the Colosseum. We try the Pegasus Cup again, and just tear ass through it until the end, where we have to fight Yuffie and Leon. This can be exceptionally overwhelming, especially since Yuffie likes to just stay far away and throw shurikens at you, while Leon decides to show you what his size 10 boot looks like on your neck. Target Yuffie first. She has much less health than Leon and can be stunned if you deflect your shurikens back at her. As for Leon, he's the same as when we first fought him, with one exception aside from more health: Limit Break mode. When he hits half HP, his sword will grow 3 sizes this day. This makes him much scarier to fight, but it will wear off if you block enough of his attacks. Or you could just be like me and flail at him until he goes down. It's as simple as that. This gives us Strike Raid, another special attack where we repeatedly throw the Keyblade at a target for the low cost of 2 MP, which is insane to me because Strike Raid makes you completely invincible while you're using it. You bet your ass will be abusing that later. Come back to Herc and Phil talking about what it means to be a true hero. This conversation goes nowhere, but we do get to challenge the Hercules Cup. I'd say it goes pretty well until we get to Cloud in the 4th seed, and he is pissed. We're running it back. The scary part about Cloud is that he has super armor until you stagger him by deflecting one of his attacks, which, that's gonna be a thing for a lot of bosses in the series, honestly. Some of these attacks are hard to deal with than others, especially when he starts using Sonic Slash, but the scariest part is when he pops his limit and starts using Omni Slash. You better block or dodge this, or else you're donating your liver to Avalanche. But after a struggle, we're able to beat Cloud. This gives us the Metal Chocobo keychain, which is cool. Wait, what's this? How dare you? Anyway, that's not the end of the cup. Make our way through the rest of the cup, and at the end, the boy himself challenges us. And Sora decides he wants to prove he can solo Hercules.
Try all you like, but remember you were warned.
This fight is awkward. See, Herc has a golden glow which makes him invincible. The way we get it off? Well, much like how Baldur's only weakness is the humble mistletoe, Herc's weakness is the stout wooden barrel. This is only awkward because Kingdom Hearts 1 has weird interaction boxes for a lot of things. I have to be facing the barrel, be close enough, which means more or less touching it, and not be locked onto Hercules. It's a weird hiccup in the fight, and it does not feel good. Aside from that, much like Cloud, Herc does a ton of damage if you're not careful. What you'll want to do after getting rid of Herc's invincibility is waiting for him to attack, then blocking said attack as it will leave him staggered. But if you see him either leap at you or lean forward, you might want to back away because his invincibility is coming back. Easily the most dangerous attack Hercules has is the one where he spins around with his sword. It's really hard to see where he's going to come back and hit you with. The camera's not great. Pop arrow in this fight regularly, retreat, heal when you gotta, and Herc will be no more. For our victory, we earn this big ass trophy, and Goofy gets Herc's shield, which he doesn't even use in this game, but he can't have it back, it's mine now. With that, Sora says his friends are his power, and he can stop anyone as long as he has them. Be thankful I found it before the Heartless did. Well, we did all the cups, so that's it, right? Haha, wrong! We can actually do the cups again, but this time we solo them. And these aren't just for bragging rights, they actually have their own set of rewards. So before I left, I soloed the Fill Cup, which we just crushed. This gives us Combo Plus, which allows our ground combo to have an additional attack when equipped. It's handy, but it can be detrimental in certain fights. Anything else? Oh yeah, we gotta save Kairi!
Cypher!
You must be the Belmont.
Welcome everyone to Hollow Bastion, which is one of the most iconic worlds in Kingdom Hearts. Though honestly, I could say that about every original world for this series. They all look pretty great. Sora wonders why this place feels so familiar to him before everyone brushes it off. Thanks guys. But after having a grand exploration of about 30 feet, we see Riku talking to Beast, wondering why he's even here. It's simple. Beast is too angry to dive and took Belle from him. He charges Riku and we run out of animation budget to show Beast is about to get his ass beat. This forces Sora and the others to step in. After Riku says him and Sora have always been rivals, then adds that there could only be one Keyblade wielder. Yeah, whatever you say, Riku. He's then able to rip the Keyblade away from Sora because Riku was supposed to be the true Keyblade wielder. And Riku absolutely revels in stealing the Keyblade.
But that's impossible. How did this happen? I'm the one who fought my way here with the Keyblade.
You were just the delivery boy.
He then tosses Sora a wooden sword, which is a sword made out of wood. Donald and Goofy also just ditch Sora in favor of following their mission. Thanks guys, really cool of you. Have fun opening that door with Riku and ruining everything. But as Sora lays there in despair, Beast gets up before collapsing again. And when Sora goes to help him, Beast asks why Sora's even here.
I came to fight for Belle, and though I am on my own, I will fight. I won't leave without her. That's why I'm here.
Me too. I'm not gonna give up now. I came here to find someone very important to me.
This part of the game is rough. Since the sword made out of wood is not a Keyblade, the Heartless do not give a shit if you hit them. So you'll be relying on Beast and your magic for this section. You may want to pack a lot of ethers to get your MP back, since Heartless don't flinch against the wooden sword. And my oh my, can the Heartless here be dangerous? What's more dangerous is trying to actually get around Hollow Bastion. Mentally dangerous anyway. The first problem is these bubbles here, which can either be jumped into or frozen, with both options leading to new areas. Though that's not the problem, it's the other problem, which was me getting lost for ages trying to figure out which door I missed or if there was a bubble I didn't interact with, but no, it was actually this, because I didn't interact with this fucking grate right here so Beast can break it. I passed by this wall like 3 different times and it was only on the 4th loop that I walked up to it and it worked. What's fucked is that earlier I broke this exact same type of wall because this one is directly next to a save point, a chest, and one of the bubbles. I didn't even think about it. This is why you need giant interact boxes for stuff like this, and also just don't have something that looks like an innocuous wall next to a bunch of interactables. Like, what the fuck? Why? And after solving a big sliding gate puzzle, we finally opened the front door. Oh my god, I hate this place. Then see Maleficent with all the Disney princesses and also Kairi. She then uses their hearts to reveal the final keyhole. We better stop her in like 20 to 30 minutes. Back with Sora. Yo Riku, you fat fuck, I'm here to fight you, where are you? Beast turns around to see Belle before she seems to turn into a Heartless, pissing off Beast and having him leap at it, separating us. Okay, bye buddy, have fun in there. We then see Riku with Donald and Goofy. Again, they weren't there a moment ago, I don't know how the hell they got in here. Riku then puts on his dark mode. Oh dear. He proceeds to taunt Sora about the darkness, and you know what? I'll just let Sora take this one.
The darkness may destroy my body, but it can't touch my heart. My heart will stay with my friends. It'll never die.
Riku then uses Riku Blast. Luckily for Sora, Goofy's here to save the day. Of course he wasn't going to betray Sora. That'd be cruel. God forbid he did something like that like 10 minutes ago or something. Nah, he didn't do that. That wasn't real. He asked Donald to apologize to the king for him, but that won't be necessary.
We'll tie them together. Well, you know. Out for one and right for all.
I know now I don't need the Keyblade. I've got a better weapon. My heart. Although my heart may be weak, it's not alone. It's grown with each new experience, and it's found a home with all the friends I've made. I've become part of their heart just as they've become a part of mine. And if they think of me now and then, if they don't forget me, then our hearts will be one.
Yeah, that's right, Riku. My friends are my power. Give me that Keyblade back, it's mine. This fight is actually incredibly easy. Sure, Riku can Riku can beat your ass easily, but since I have Donald back and says AI appropriately, I'm in a way better position than he is. He also get a nice look at Squeaks' tendency to cover the screen particle effects. Just you wait until we talk about Kingdom Hearts 3, it gets so much worse. But after an ass beating, Riku runs off, and Beast returns to us. This fight also gives us the White Trinity, the final of the series. I don't know, it got pretty stale after the Green Trinity, I won't lie. We can finally explore Hollow Bastion with the crew and the Keyblade. That previous section really did make me miss it, much like Sora did, I imagine. And Donald and Goofy are back, I guess, you know, they're here too. We get to exploring again, going through this library and solving the classic put the matching book back on the correct shelf puzzle about 7 goddamn times. There's also this stupid ass spinning shells you have to spin twice to get the only chest in them. Why? Frustratingly, half of the rewards from this are gummy blocks. Yay. Honestly, this whole library is pretty indicative of how the rest of Hollow Bastion is. Slow, plodding, and taking far too long to get anywhere. You like unskippable cutscenes? Kill me. I also like to show you these floating chests. If you don't know how to get them, you use gravity on them and bada bing bada boom, free item. But since I got pretty sick of wandering around the unskippable cutscenes, I took a quick trip back to Traverse Town to drop off some Dalmatian puppies and just fucking breathe. And heading back, we wander around some more, solve some puzzles, get the emblem pieces for this door. I found part is just, it's really tedious, and the game really likes to rub it in because we need to place every part of this emblem individually. What is this, my old retail job? We then see Riku freaking out about losing the Keyblade before that mysterious rogue guy from several eons ago appears, saying Riku can finally become stronger if he opens himself up to darkness, which is green. Getting further through Hollow Bastion, we get to the part I knew would happen at least once while I was exploring here. Ah, there it is, there it is. I knew this would happen, goddammit. Fuck this area. I fucking hate how they do this with flying enemies all the time in this game. It's like, haha, what if we put them over a pit? Fucking assholes. You're gonna massively waste your time. You try and fight them in melee. Oh, you're out of mana? Oh, sucks to suck, fucko. So climbing all the way back up, we continue to progress through Hollow Bastion, which is really beginning to feel like the final dungeon of Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse. But we finally see what Riku and Maleficent are up to, and Riku sounds evil now.
The keyhole to the darkness.
Unlock it, and the Heartless will overrun this world.
And hold back your surprise, Maleficent is going to use this keyhole to use the Heartless to rule all the worlds. Wow, shocker, stop the presses. Holy shit, I didn't expect a Disney villain was going to do that. Riku then summons a Keyblade of his own, which Maleficent really likes. Lucky for us, they can't do anything yet, since Kairi doesn't have her heart. But then Maleficent hears us approach, so she goes to deal with us, while Riku farms some darkness aura. Then enter and face down Maleficent. She says we can't stop her, so we go, yeah huh, and that triggers her.
You poor, simple fools. You think you can defeat me?
Okay, Grandma, let's get you back in bed. So you remember the Jafar fight? Maleficent is basically that, but she floats around on a big rock because she's a big fan of Mercenary Tao. This makes the fight a bit tedious, as even if you land on the platform, she'll summon a bunch of Heartless on it before quickly shoving you off of it. With that being said, she is weak to stop, though I didn't do the funny trick like I did with Ursula, but magic is still super helpful in this fight. And you know what else is useful? Goofy's new skill he got while we were here, MP Gift. Goofy can sacrifice 1 MP to give someone else 3 MP. This effectively turns his entire MP bar into ethers. Now that's what I'm talking about. Now we're playing with power! The most dangerous part of this fight is when Maleficent uses Dark Meteor. They do colossal damage, so I highly recommend avoiding them until it's over, or, you know, this happens. And don't forget the particle effects! It's gonna be one of those fights, isn't it? It's just gonna be really annoying. Through our clever use of magic and special attacks, we're able to beat Maleficent. She limps away, giving Dawn the ability to cheer as well, because he really likes seeing villains in pain. We chase after Maleficent, but Riku also shows up, showing off his cool new Keyblade, and it can unlock people's hearts. Wanna see him unlock a heart? This gives Maleficent a power-up, letting her transform into a dragon. Normally, this fight is one of the hardest of the game, but we're gonna do a little trolling. I set Goofy's AI like this, and had Beast come along with us instead of Donald, because Beast can hold more items. So I gave him and Goofy a bunch of ethers. And now, I present to you, Maleficent feels the force of 2 million suns. Alright. Feel the true power of heart, dickbag. This is the true power of light, you sack of shit. This is the true power of light. God, I love magic. It turned one of the most difficult bosses in the game into this.
Who wants to hold the tungsten cube? I do. Alright, here you go!
This is the true power of light, you son of a bitch! This is what you get! This is what you get for tormenting me when I was a young lady, a young man, a very young man. This is what you get, Maleficent. Look at your health. Look at your health in despair. I can't see. With Maleficent defeated, we get the Fire Glow, which allows us to summon Mushu. But we can't talk about that right now. Riku's here! He says Maleficent was nothing but a puppet for the Heartless before dipping again. So thanks, man. See you later. Better chase after him. And now it's time for one of the most infamous cutscenes in the game. Sora finds Kairi just on the ground. Riku, or whoever's possessed him, explains that the final keyhole will remain incomplete until Kairi's heart returns to her. And he aura farms for a moment, and he points the Keyblade towards Sora, making him clutch at his chest. Turns out Kairi's heart was in Sora all along, which may sound like it came out of nowhere, but remember all those times we saw visions of her, or when we saw her memories? It's because Kairi's heart was just Sora all along. You know what? Good job, Kingdom Hearts. You did a decent job at foreshadowing. I hope Springly Clems for future questions doesn't become your entire identity. Christ, what have I gotten myself into? Sora demands to know who's possessing Riku, and I'll let him do the introductions.
It is I, Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness.
Well, that sounds pretty evil. Get him, Donald. Dang it. But with Ansem staring down at us and wanting to steal Kairi's heart, Sora looks like he's about to give in.
Sora!
But it's not over. Let's fucking go!
Forget it. There's no way you're taking Kairi's heart.
Alright, time to fight Ansem. Oh shit, here we go again. Now, I'll explain why this cutscene is infamous. It's not the plot twist, the reveal of Ansem, or even Sora's very, very loud decree.
There's no way you're taking Kairi's heart.
It's because in the original version of the game, none of the cutscenes were skippable, so you just had to sit there and wait every single time. And because this fight against Riku Ansem is so hard, like penultimate boss hard, yeah, me and many of the kids who played this when this game first came out suffered immensely because this fight is just ridiculous. So many of us have
There's no way you're taking Kairi's heart.
Burned into our brains forever. And to simulate that experience on stream, I had me and my chat sit through the cutscene every single time I lost. We totally didn't start losing our minds upon the 4th retry.
It's no use.
It's no use.
Whoever you are, let Riku go. Give him back his heart.
But
Nah,
first,
he doesn't need it.
you must give
He's
the
a little
princess
bitch.
back.
You're dying,
yet?
Sora. It's all
The
over.
princess
I put a bomb in your
has
chest
been
as
there
a
all
joke.
along.
Say the line, Sora.
There's no way you're taking Kairi's heart.
We did it! Yay! In fact, you know what? This cutscene has inspired me. So, from now on, every time we experience an unskippable cutscene on this channel, we shall count it. And of course, play the clip.
There's no way you're taking Kairi's heart.
Now, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, so remember how our last battle against Riku was really easy? Yeah, not anymore. I highly recommend Arrow for this fight because, oh my god, the damage. I also equipped Olympia and a shit ton of ethers for reasons I'll get into shortly. Since we're alone, Riku Ansem will be solely focused on us, which is probably for the best, honestly. But also, Riku Ansem has super armor. How do you even know it's on? That's the neat part. You don't. Much like with Cloud, we have to wait until we either stagger him or get a little creative. For instance, Riku Ansem likes to block so he can counter us, just like on the islands. But he didn't account for me using Strike Rate for free damage. But let's say you catch Riku Ansem during or after one of his attacks. Great, you can combo him into maybe a single finisher. As soon as you do that, guard or dodge because he will counter with this little spin move he loves so much. I kind of hate this move because I know what they're doing here. They're letting the boss break away from you so you can't infinitely combo him, which is fine, but punishing me with damage for playing correctly to get into this situation in the first place isn't great. I find it far more accessible for the boss to teleport or get knocked away in these situations. It resets both of us and I don't feel like the game is being cheap for hitting me after doing something correctly. Now, what about using magic on Riku Ansem? Well, don't spam it because it will cause him to shoot a fireball at you, but you can use it to your advantage. By baiting the shot, you can deflect it right back into his stupid face. This is actually good practice for when he's around 50 HP as he'll enter Dark Hand mode. Here his attacks gain additional effects like shockwaves or these spinning blades of darkness. The shockwaves can't be blocked because, of course, but the blades block him and get some precious damage in. Oh man, but he's not done pulling out moves, not yet. Once Riku Ansem's at his final health bar, he'll use his desperation move, Dark Aura. This has him charge through the arena before slamming into the ground, sending shockwaves everywhere. It is easily his most dangerous move, and by God, he loves spamming it. Really, I think my reaction during this last attempt shows how a lot of people feel about this fight. Man, this boss can just fuck off. This is ridiculous. What a giant difficulty spike out of nowhere. The way you usually deal with Dark Aura is by waiting for him to move, then jumping and gliding around the arena, staying close to the edge until it's over. How did I deal with it? I abused Strike Raid's iframes so I wouldn't take damage. There's a reason I packed as many ethers as I could hold. Really, most of the final phase is him spamming Dark Aura and me spamming Strike Raid. Just you know what it is? It's the same thing! But after enough spamming of Strike Raid, Riku Ansem finally goes down, thank God. This levels us up and gives us another copy of Air Combo Plus, as well as Ragnarok. Ragnarok is our final special attack and has Sora combo an enemy before floating into the air, and we have to press triangle again. This causes us to shoot projectiles at the enemy. The shots deal damage based on your max MP, so this move is perfect for our build. At least that's what I wanted to say, but the way the game registers when you can use Ragnarok is extremely janked, so I didn't use it as much as I'd like to. Back with Riku Ansem, he dissolves into darkness, so the trio needs to figure out what to do about the final keyhole. Sora tries to seal it, but since it's not finished, he can't do that either. Well, sounds like there's only one option left for us, huh?
We gotta go wake Kairi up.
I think you're right. If we can free her heart... But how? A Keyblade that unlocks people's hearts. I wonder...
Sora? Sora! Hold on!
Kairi shouts back that she won't let Sora go, but we're not allowed to even think about that because Ansem's back. Now he looks like handsome Squidward. Luckily for us, Riku's barely able to stop Ansem from moving, refusing to allow Ansem to hurt his friends. He gives them time to flee. But what's this? A single Shadow Heartless is watching them, and we can control them? I wonder why that is. But clearly we have to ask the question, can you beat Kingdom Hearts as a Shadow Heart? No, absolutely not. You can't do anything in this form aside from move around and jump, but I'm sure someone out there is gonna try. But after enough backtracking through Hollow Bastion, we meet up with the gang, getting a fantastic greeting from Donald. Hey, at least he didn't instantly kill us with lightning or something. Kairi is able to figure out that this Heartless is actually Sora, but before we could do anything, we're swamped by even more Heartless. As Donald and Goofy defend Kairi, she throws herself over Sora, trying to protect him. That's right, baby, he's back! It's like nothing ever happened. Man, I sure love when actions don't have consequences, don't you? Who the hell is that? With us still surrounded by Heartless, Beast swoops in and cuts us a path to safety, staying behind to find Belle. Funny how he couldn't find her since she's a single room away. Back in Traverse Town, we discuss what to do. The final keyhole being opened by Ansem, more and more Heartless are invading the worlds. Sora suggests sealing it, though Leon is skeptical since the final keyhole is still incomplete. But talking with everyone, they all believe Sora can do it, so by God, we're gonna do it. After we do some exploring to get some more items. Though as we do, since we've rescued Kairi, all of the Heartless in the world have been upgraded, even in Traverse Town. We now have Heartless we saw in Hollow Bastion here. It's crazy out here now. We spend a good amount of time exploring, getting items, find Dalmatians, gummy blocks, keychains, materials, all kinds of things. We even tried fighting one of the extra bosses, which, yeah, it didn't go so well. That'll be later. But I did get some levels. Most importantly, this gives us Sliding Dash, which gives Sora a gap closer move. It is so helpful. It's such a nice move. But after all our efforts, we go back to Hollow Bastion. Oh wait, we can't. Going back to Traverse Town, we ask Sid what's up, and he says there's a huge amount of Heartless. At first, Sid doesn't want us to go back, but he quickly relents and tells us where the Navi Gummy is hidden. We go in and see Kairi already there and grab the final Navi Gummy. Thank God. Though before we leave, we have a quick chat with Kairi. We talk about if things could ever be the same since Riku lost his body. But Sora says since Kairi brought him back, they'll be able to rescue Riku too. After all, Kairi's heart was able to bring Sora back. Why can't they do the same for him?
I didn't want to just forget about you, Sora. I couldn't.
That's it! Our hearts are connected. And the light from our hearts broke through the darkness. No matter how deep the darkness, a light shines within.
That being said, Kairi can't come with us.
I can't help?
You'd kind of be in my way.
Okay.
She then hands Sora the Wayfinder she made, saying he better bring it back to her. Sora, of course, promises to. This gives us the Oathkeeper keychain, my personal favorite design in the series. Here it has a balance between magic and critical hits, which isn't bad. We then cut to Riku, seemingly in the realm of darkness. He's apologizing to Sora and Kairi, wanting to see them one more time before he goes. But then, he hears a voice saying that they found the other Keyblade and they'll be able to see Riku soon. For what he should do, Riku should keep moving to the door to darkness so that way it can be shut. Are you feeling Sora and Kairi okay? He puts his trust in the voice and moves forward. As do we, except we head to the Coliseum to do the Pegasus Cup solo. Never mind. Alright, guess we'll head back to Hollow Bastion for real. Beast says Belle and the other princesses have stayed in the castle. Better find out why. And now we run all the way back through Hollow Bastion again. And no, there was not an option to teleport farther in when we landed. We just have to run the whole gauntlet again because Square was smoking the good shit that day. Getting back to the library, we do run into Belle with her and Beast sharing a hug. How nice. Talking to Belle, she actually gives us the keychain Divine Rose. Very powerful yet short-range keychain. Highly recommend this one if you're going for that good physical damage. Back to the backtracking, we also make a stop to get the Royal Crown accessory since it's one of the best in the game, before finally making our way back to the princesses. Having a chat with them, we learn Ansem got sucked into the final keyhole while they were keeping the darkness from pouring out even further. Better get on that whole ceiling thing, yeah? Getting in there, we destroy all the Heartless, and we also grab the Oblivion keychain, which, I'm gonna be real, it's basically a weaker version of Divine Rose in this game. Is it iconic? Absolutely. Is it a paperweight in this game? If you can't find Divine Rose, yes, absolutely. After we destroy the rest of the heart... Surprise! There's a mini-boss in this room! This is a stealth soldier, which is similar to a normal soldier, but with one big exception. I can't fucking see it! This entire room is a death trap. There's large bodies, wizards, which are immune to magic by the way, defenders, finally ending against the cell soldiers, which are also immune to magic while they're invisible by the way. Very cool, thank you Square. It's a rough final fight, but we're not quite done yet. We gotta jump into the final keyhole for this world's final boss, the Behemoth. Much like the Cave of Wonders Guardian, we have to get to the top of the Behemoth to do damage to it. And really, this fight isn't that hard, it's just tedious. Just like the Cave of Wonders Guardian. Maybe if I took Ragnarok instead of Ars Arcana, this could have gone a little faster, but, you know, live, laugh, lose your mind. Behemoth down, we go to seal the final keyhole.
Sora, you did it.
Or not. We instead have a chat with Leon and the gang since they're back in Hollow Bastion, here to give us some final exposition. See, if we defeat Ansem, all the worlds will be restored, including Destiny Islands, but it will mean the worlds will become separate again, so we won't get to see everyone we've met. But there's no need to feel down.
No matter where we are, our hearts will bring us together again.
Thanks, anime characters! Oh yeah, bada bing bada boom, no more keyhole for you. With that, we're told by the princesses that the darkness is beginning to weaken, but they can feel Ansem far away in the heart of darkness. Not that one. Sweet Jesus, not that one either. But before we head out, the princesses give us the power of fire, upgrading Fira to Firaga. Wait, maybe this is Spec Ops The Line. Some words of encouragement from the princesses, we head up for the last worlds. Wait, hold on, I gotta go back and talk to Aerith real quick. Okay, now we can go. Wait, where am I going? Oh god, come to the next chapter, quick! So we take a little detour and attempt the Hades Cup, and it has 50 matches, goddamn. And it is filled with boss fights, like this behemoth with flame decals so it can go faster. What's at least nice about this is that I leveled up and got another accessory slot. Very nice. What was unnice was Cloud and Leon deciding Sora's atoms looked a little too attached to him and decided to fix that. What is nice is that we can start the Hades Cup at any 10th match that we've reached, thank god. As we progress, we also get a lot of upgrades, including Blizzaga after a Behemoth, Thundaga after Cerberus, and the Lionheart keychain after beating Cloud and Leon. You know, eventually. And how does the Hades Cup end? With a fight against Hades, except not really, he's only in the 10th match. But we should give him his time in the sun. He is a unique boss fight after all. And how's it going? Oh, it's gonna be like that, huh? So first of all, this fight is in a much smaller arena, so we have far less room to dodge Hades' attacks. But to add to that, all of his attacks deal a lot of damage, as Donald and Goofy quickly find out. On top of that, Hades has so much HP, it looks like we're not dealing damage, but we are. You'd think they would account for this here, but they didn't. Now, with all that being said, Hades is actually pretty straightforward to deal with. Once he stops spamming his flamethrower and does his whole fire spin, he'll do one of two moves. Either snapping his fingers, instantly hitting you, which is very, very annoying, or throwing a fireball which you can parry back at him, which stuns him. And after a long, drawn-out battle, we get his ass. Afterwards, Hades wanders off and I don't really know what happens to him, but he's not having a good time.
What are you doing? Stop! Hey guys, get away from me!
But we are, because we got the power of the stars once again giving us Graviga. That's good shit, baby. Look at that damage formula. As for the rest of the Hades Cup, it can be a bit of a slog since the fights now have multiple waves. Is it rough? Oh yeah, but nothing the boys can't handle. It is pretty terrifying seeing 8 invisible Heartless spawn though. That's their name, by the way, not that they're actually invisible. That's not confusing at all, Squeenix, thank you. But we get to the end against the Rock Titan, and he's really easy. Smack him in the legs, then hit him in the head, repeat, and done. What an ending. It's literally just Ichigo's plan against the Menos Grande Hollow, except it actually worked.
Well, I figured if I just kept chopping away on him like a giant tree, I'd eventually bring him down to the point where I could whack him on the head.
With our victory over the Hades Cup,
Bald!
we obtain the Trinity Limit, an extremely powerful attack that costs the entirety of the party's MP to cast. I, however, did not use it a single time. Sure, it does big damage, but it also deals the same type of damage as Gravity, which most bosses are extremely resistant to. And since it eats up all of our MP, it's just not worth it in my opinion. At least it looks cool. Speaking of words that align with low temperature, I attempted the gold match against the Ice Titan, and it does not go well.
This fucking sucks. What am I supposed to do about this?
Gonna be one of those fights, isn't it? After a few attempts, we decide to leave this for later, and do another attempt against Kurt Zia for some reason. And we finally take our final gummy ship ride to our last stop, the end of the world. As we enter the end of the world, we see all that's left of the destroyed worlds.
Just a bunch of rocks.
But after a group ponder about what happens once we defeat Ansem and restore the worlds, Goofy says everyone's hearts aren't going anywhere. This makes Sora look down at the Wayfinder Kairi gave him, promising to return it before the trio sets off. The first part of the end is an invisible maze, and my love for this section would go here, if I had any. It is a rough section with exceptionally dangerous encounters, and it even has traps. That's one hell of a curveball for the chest at the end of the game in an already hostile environment. There's even a fight against an archbehemoth, which is just a normal behemoth fight, but blue. Getting through this area which has another archbehemoth fight. They're really stretching this section out, aren't they? We get to this ravine. It's actually a nice chill section after the invisible maze letting us explore and find some items. Really wish they weren't mostly fucking gummy blocks. We then get here, which I like to call Reused Asset World. It's fights in arenas we've already been to, but now they give us material for clearing them. And can I just say, this whole section gives me mixed feelings. To me, End of the World is supposed to be like the primordial area, something where everything begins and ends. And I really feel that at the start, even if I hate the invisible maze, it's got the right atmosphere, you know? But this part? No, not really. Perhaps it has to do with me playing far too many video games, but seeing reused assets like this just feels, well, reused. If this area had the reused arenas falling apart, becoming part of the end of the world, or even fusing together, I think that would have really sold the primordial feeling that they were going for here. But as we go through here, we get counterattack, which allows us to instantly attack after we deflect an attack. Weird ability, but okay. We also learn Combo Master, which allows us to do a combo without hitting an enemy, which is something I haven't really mentioned that you need to do, but it's not really been super relevant. I do wish that the games just had Combo Master on by default. I feel like they should just play like this at the gate, but you know, fine, I'll sacrifice 1 AP for it. And after a quick trip to restock, we also swing by Neverland to grab some items, including an upgrade to Arrow in this chest just randomly, which gives us Arrow Raw. Now the barrier crates also damages enemies that run into us. Very nice. Going back to the end of the world, we find an area from Hollow Bastion that we've never seen before. Turns out this is Ansem's lab. We get to learn some lore. Speedrun versions that the Heartless gather hearts to create what is known as Kingdom Hearts. We did it! We sent a thing! Alright, turn the video off. But this creates the door to darkness, which is tied to the 2 keys and can seal the light. Ooh, spooky. And speaking of spooky, it's time for us to fight the next boss, Chernobog. This fight forces us to fly the entire time, so our silly little strats won't work here. Instead, we head over to Chernobog and concuss him, just like we did against Darkseid. But unlike Darkseid, we do a little summoning. Summoning the most powerful entity ever, Mushu from Mulan. I didn't forget to talk about him, no sir. And he's pretty underwhelming here. If we were playing on Proud mode where we could do the damage storage glitch and we would just absolutely wreck Chernobog. But sadly, Eddie Murphy can't do much, even if he wasn't getting smacked every 2 seconds. So I go back to hitting Chernobog normally and Gabagool, that's the fight. This does give us Super Glide, which is glide, but faster. Okay, we're almost there now. Just one more gauntlet to get to. We could do this. We just gotta get through another come on! After several waves of Heartless, the final path opens. And look at that! The special door is back. And so is the mysterious voice from the beginning of the game saying what it did before. We enter the door and we're back on the Destiny Islands. See, that's 2 bookends. That's how you know we're almost done. And after exploring for a bit, we hear Ansem talk about how the worlds are being swallowed by darkness and how we know so little. You know, the usual. As Destiny Islands fade away, looking way more how I would have wanted the rest of the area to look, we see Riku. He's okay. Probably. Dang it. Ansem then monologues about how darkness is the beginning and ending of all things, even the heart. Sora, of course, has a rebuttal to this philosophy.
That's not true!
Nuh-uh.
The heart may be
Fuck
weak.
you mean nuh-uh.
With Ansem then saying,
So you have come this far, and still you understand nothing.
He then summons his stand and we begin the final boss fight. So Ansem's first phase, don't act surprised, of course he has multiple phases, can be rough. Much like a lot of bosses, especially in the later games, Ansem opens up with an attack nearly instantly. He also loves to fly around like a jackass, but since we have Sliding Dash and Super Glide, it's not too big a deal to keep up with him. The scariest attack is when he shouts, "Submit!" You'll want to be as far away from Ansem as possible or else say goodbye to half of your health. Do I even need to tell you Arrow is a good idea? The other attack I need to point out is when his Guardian possesses us. This occasionally makes our attack command into freeze, stopping Sora in place for a few seconds. Luckily, using a special attack like, say, Strike Raid can't be stopped by possession, and after a few minutes of just beating his ass, he splits the Destiny Islands in half, and then patiently waits for us to pursue him. Man, the villains in this game are really patient for us. Fully prepared, we hop in. Okay, I hop in to pursue Ansem, but not before fighting another dark side. Yeah, you thought we didn't need to fight for a third time today, but you thought wrong. And now it's got 3 times the health and damage. Ooh, so scary. Perish. Moving on to the real fight, Ansem 2 is much like the last fight. Only now we don't have Donald and Goofy for backup, so all the aggro was on us, which leads to some interesting interactions. Ansem does have a very scary move now where his guardian rushes at you from the floor. Use Super Glide and you should be okay, mostly. Really, the worst part about this encounter is Possession fucking you up at the worst possible time, but we still take down Ansem like the bitch he is.
Haha, fucking idiot. You fucking idiot, Ansem. That's what you get for having low HP and being vulnerable to magic like a loser.
This levels us up, giving us Berserk, an ability that increases our attack power when our HP is low. Nice to have on, but I wouldn't rely on it. But with Ansem's second defeat, he shows us Kingdom Hearts, which is a bunch of doors. Wow. He then declares there's no light to be found, even though we still have to open the doors to check, and that the darkness conquers all worlds. We turn around and Ansem is gone big mode. Donald and Goofy get sucked away and Sora falls into the darkness below. But then he hears Riku's words asking if he's really giving up that easily. And of course not, baby. Let's beat Ansem's ass.
Then perhaps this will light.
Oh my god, lasers. I'm not sure lasers are enlightening as much as they just kill you. Stop. Perish. Alright. Phase 4. That probably did something. Okay, he goes, we're free, and now we gotta fight Ansem some more. Okay. Hard cut. Hard cut. Oh, hi, Goofy. Oh, yeah, I can see why he was having a bad time in this room. Now, Goofy's already dead. I guess I failed in my mission, technically. And we're back. Do we have to fight more bullshit? Probably. I looked at chat for 1 second and Sora lost half of his health in a single attack and died. Oh man. Okay. It just sent us right back here. That's not too bad. I thought for a moment we had to go all the way back. This is just stupid. This sucks. In case anyone was curious, this sucks. Okay. We'll go get Donald back. Oh, hello. Yeah, glad we're fighting black-colored enemies in a black background. Very cool. Bold decision of you to do this, Square Enix. Is there any more phases of this that I have to do? Yep. Alright, let's go blow up an engine. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this fight seems unnecessarily long, but you know, it's Squeenix. They do be that way. Okay, can we go beat up Ansem now? Or do I have to wait longer? Alright, we gotta fight him like this again. Damn, I wish I could see. I can't believe you're beating up Ansem, Squidward. Alright. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Ansem. Bye-bye, handsome Squidward. It's over.
See, Ansem? It's as simple as that. And you wanna know another thing? You're ugly. After his third defeat, Ansem says there's no way we can seal the door to the Keyblade alone. He then asks if Kingdom Hearts can spare a crumb of darkness since he's been such a good boy this year. Unfortunately for him,
I know now, without a doubt, Kingdom Hearts is light.
oh my darkness, it really is all light. With that, Ansem is defeated, so we better get on closing that door. But the trio isn't able to do it alone, and that's when Riku comes in to lend us a hand. As Riku pulls the door, even more dark sides show up. Oh man, it's not looking so good. What can we do now? That's right, baby! The mouse is in the house, and he's got the other Keyblade. Now we can close the door to darkness and save the day. All it will cost is Mickey and Riku being trapped on the other side. Aw, man. Riku and Mickey say their goodbyes, with Riku asking Sora to look after Kairi, and we shut the door. Sora and Mickey then use their Keyblades to seal the door, and with that, the worlds are saved.
No, just because I'm not made out of darkness doesn't mean I'm not weak to flashbangs. Stop that.
After getting rudely flashbanged by the universe, we turn around and see Kairi's here. Not literally, I think this is their hearts connecting again. And I'll just let this scene play out instead of talking over it.
Kairi! Sora! Kairi! Remember what you said before? I'm always with you too. I'll come back to you. I promise. I know you will.
With that, we see the Destiny Islands come back, and Sora fades into the darkness, cueing the credits to roll. But afterwards, the trio's discussing how they'll find Riku and Mickey. But before long, their questions might have an answer, as Pluto shows up with another letter with Mickey's seal. So they chase after Pluto, and the game comes to a close. But we're not done yet. That's right, we're clocking into overtime. Welcome to the post-game. Now, I'd like to set the expectation that I'll be doing most of this series' post-games, though specifically anything that has to do with the story, though, you know, there's still a lot of other things I did before that. But if you know anything about Kingdom Hearts post-game bosses, you already know the pain I'm in for. As for the post-game here, it is really grindy. Not for levels, no, though those still take a while, but for synthesis materials, since I want to get the Ultima Weapon keychain, and it requires us to make every single item in the synthesis shop to get access to it. Normally I just say, and then I grind my soul away for several hours and leave it at that, but since Kingdom Hearts 1 has unique fights for each of the many different materials, we get to go into details. Hooray! First, we go around getting the rest of the Dalmatian puppies and treasures. This gives us quite a few materials, a torn page, but most importantly another upgrade for Arrow, giving us Arrowga. Now it's time to wrap up the 100-acre woods. And it really does give me 100 eggs. We see Pooh and Piglet watching the river, and they see he doesn't really care if we save him or not, but I think I'll choose to save him. Doing just that, you are safe and sound, except his tail is gone. We should probably go find that, even if he says it doesn't matter if we find it or not. But how will we do that? The woods are massive. It's easy. First, we very, very slowly lead Pooh over to this swing. And then we yoot Pooh Bear over the woods. Though he actually doesn't go very far and lands right on Rabbit's little stick tent, which happens to have Eeyore's tail. How convenient. This upgrades Stop to Stopra, giving it a larger area of effect. Nice, but not needed super often. Next is the tree stumps. Here, Tigger and Roo have us jump between the tree stumps in a specific order, which is simple enough, except the game quietly disables glide and high jump without any warnings, so... The best part of this is having to watch Tigger and Roo do jumps every time you mess up, which is, of course, unskippable. Is it too early to add more to the unskippable cutscene counter? But after doing this properly and getting launched into the trees, we then have to whack these nuts into this pot to break it, which is extremely awkward since their hitboxes are really tiny and Sora starts his air combo with an upward slash. It just does not feel good. Thankfully, it's short-lived. We then get the freedom to explore the area and collect rare nuts for Owl, and we can only pick up one at a time. For fuck's sake. What's really cursed about getting these rare nuts is that most of them we can just walk up to and grab, but for some reason, one of the nuts is just riveted to the tree where they're on until we solve a puzzle. So what do we do for this one? Well, we step on this stump that goes into the ground, shooting this piece of wood into the air with a geyser, which doesn't help, but it does raise another stump that we have to go stand on to make another stump rise from another geyser, but only after the first geyser is finished going down. Then you can finally get the rare nut. This game is really lucky that the Orichalcum from this is necessary. Next up is this little field where we have to help Pooh find his friends, which absolutely isn't annoying to do in the slightest.
Alright, now all you need to do is turn left. Turn left. Turn left. Come on, turn left, you stupid fuck.
Okay, this was because I didn't actually start the minigame, but there wasn't any indication of that. But once we did start it, we have to slowly lead Pooh around the whole area to find everyone. Did I mention I'm the resident minigame hater? This doesn't take that long, but it certainly feels like it. Thankfully for our efforts, we get EXP Ring, which gives us 20% more XP when it's equipped. That will be extremely helpful for later. With everyone back, we hang out on a hill. At night, the gang is happy to be together again, and with Pooh trying to think about what to think about. Since everyone seems to be in good hands now, Sora heads out to find his friends. Technically, we already did that, but let's not worry about that. We say our goodbyes, and Winnie the Pooh's book is finally restored. Thank God, I don't think I could have handled another minigame. I then attempted to fight the Ice Titan again. It did not work, so instead I worked more on the synthesis list. Which brings me to talking about one of the worst parts of Kingdom Hearts 1's post-game grind. As I said before, to get specific materials you need to fight rare enemies that have a low chance of appearing each time you walk into a specific room. It sucks because not only are you fighting against the item drop RNG, but also the RNG of the enemy appearing at all. As much fun as I had with Kingdom Hearts 1, this was the unfun. Even with the abilities that increase the rates of enemies appearing, it could take upwards of 20 minutes before some of these rare encounters showed up, and I don't think I need to explain how annoying that can be. But skipping the Inoites, we head over to Wonderland and fight the Giga Shadows, which is just like normal shadows, but big. And it totally wasn't stressful at all that there was a bunch of them at once. Nope, I was totally fine.
There they are. Oh god. Get Mom, it's bad. Whew. Alright. Oh man.
There was also a couple of times during this whole grind that we fought some of the smaller white mushrooms from earlier, but I mean, they're just kind of there. You just do the correct spell on them and that's that. It's just, yeah, that's all there is to it. But after that, we head over to the deep jungle again and go to the treehouse. God willing, eventually we get the Mushroom Heartless to spawn. To hunt them down, cast Stop on them so our real target appears. The pink Agaricus. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but whatever. What we have to do is cast Stop on it and then hit it as much as possible before the spell ends. To guarantee what we want, we have to hit it 100 times, but there's still a chance at 40 to 60 hits. And how the hell do we do that? Well, we equip Ragnarok and as much max MP as possible. You'll cast Stop, then Ragnarok, and while Ragnarok's projectiles are active, hit Agaricus with an air combo, then repeat until Stop wears off. Once we get our drop, we head back and unlock the next list for the Synth Shop, and it's back to the jungle, baby! This time for gambling. Well, not really, but it feels that way. We now have to deal with the Black Ballad. It's a little guy that creates some clones of itself. You see one hop in the air, then they shuffle. After which we have to hit the correct one to get what rewards it has. It's only a 10% chance for what we need, but we're guaranteed the item after guessing correctly 4 times. And let me tell you, that is far more difficult than it sounds. Yep, seems fair to me. The best you can do is pause and unpause the game, but even that didn't help me much. Luckily, we get what we need and finally unlock the next synth list. Thank God, more grinding for us, let's go! Luckily for us, the next special Heartless we need to fight is right here in Traverse Town, the Sniper Wild. This turns the game into bootleg Metal Gear Solid as we have to take out these Heartless without them calling for reinforcements. And we get a chance at the drop we need every 6 of these guys we defeat, with the odds increasing every 6. So how I deal with this delicate stealth situation? By just fucking charging at them and casting Stopper repeatedly. Is this the best idea? No, absolutely not. But I got what I needed. Now it's time to deal with one of the enemies of all time, the Pot Scorpion. Here in Agrabah, a bunch of pots will spawn. What we have to do is break all of the pots except the one the Pot Scorpion is hiding in to get a chance at the drop we need. I love how many times I have to write down there's only a chance of getting these drops. It's awesome. Now there is a higher chance of getting a drop by killing the Pot Scorpion after destroying the pots, but 1, I didn't know that at the time, and 2, I found out it's far quicker to just reset the room and destroy all the pots again anyways. Now, how do we tell which pots are safe? Shove them around. If the pot doesn't move, it has a scorpion in it. Easy, simple, still tedious. Speaking of, let's break the tedium of material grinding for a little bit. Time for some Colosseum fights. First we do the Hurt Cup solo. Big shocker, Cloud's still the most dangerous part of this cup. Winning this solo gives us a copy of Critical Plus, which increases our critical hit chance even more. We always appreciate critical hits around here. Next up, I attempted the Pegasus Cup solo again. Still didn't go well, but after restocking some items, we do the fill cup, but now with a 3-minute time limit. Unsurprisingly, this is very easy this late into the game, so we blast through and get another tech boost. On the other side of things, we do the Herc Cup with a time limit, which still has 3 minutes despite it being way later. You'd think 1 more minute or something would be added, but no, they just want your ass moving, and I fail to do so since Cloud and Herc are really difficult to beat quickly. So, tasting defeat, we get back to the material grind.
I imagine a lot of this is going to be cut out of the video, aside from the parts where I'm dying.
Now we're at Halloween Town to defeat another mushroom. This time it's the rare truffle. For this one, we have to juggle it in the air for at least 10 hits to get a chance at the item we need. But for the best results, we'll want to hit it at least 100 times. The way we juggle the truffle is by shoving it into the corner here, then casting Arrogon, having the barrier juggle it for us. Just make sure you cast it again before it wears off, or else you'll drop the truffle. But with our stuffed claim, we moved on to Monstro to fight the Grand Ghost, which is the simplest fight so far. The Ghost is immune to all forms of attack, so what do? Throw healing items at it. The better the item, the better the reward. Though for our purposes, I threw some high potions at it and called it a day. It's as simple as that. Now it's time for Neverland. We're up against the jet balloon, which is a little shit. It only stays around depending on how much money Sora has when the fight starts. The game doesn't tell you this, as far as I'm aware. Better kill fast! Aside from that, it's a relatively simple fight, if not annoying, since he always runs away. Can we just stop doing that, Kingdom Hearts, please? But with the jet balloon's defeat, it's time to head back to Halloween Town because it's so goddamn special. It has 2 rare Heartless. Going to the ruins of Oogie Boogie's mansion, there's a chance for the Chimera to spawn. The best part of this is not knowing if it's there or not, since you have to defeat a bunch of these Heartless before it'll spawn. Thank you, Square. Can you just stop doing this? But once it does, be prepared, since the Chimera can hit really, really hard if you're not prepared. The way this fight works is that Chimera has 2 HP bars. The first is its normal HP, and once it's gone, a new HP bar appears. So you need to beat the shit out of Chimera when this happens, and after enough hits, you'll get the drop you need. In theory, this is pretty straightforward. In practice, this could be a rough time, since even hitting Chimera at the maximum amount of times, you only have a chance at the drop because, of course. But we get what we need, and after several runs, we get the goods. There's only a few more items left to synthesize, and my patience for doing this was really wearing thin.
I really don't care about doing all of it because I'm not going to use all these items, but the problem is that the only way to get access to the last thing, that being, Ultima, we have to do all of these. Like, it just sucks. It sucks and I hate it.
Okay, last rare Heartless to talk about. Neo Shadows. These are easily the most annoying of the rare Heartless to fight in my opinion. They're dangerous, fast, and have an excruciatingly low chance to spawn out of all the rare Heartless. Like, there's so many times I'd walk into this room and it'd be the fucking mushrooms instead of the Neo Shadows. Why would you put these here, Squeenix? It's already difficult enough to fight the Neo Shadows and have them spawn. Why did you lower the chance even more? I'm really wondering at this point if they're actually classified as rare Heartless and are actually just a normal encounter. I really don't know. Either way, this was annoying, and of course, the Neo Shadows only have a chance to drop the item we need if we do everything correctly, and we'll need multiple of this item to finish the list. It's just... Lordy, I have a lot of footage of me running in and out of this room trying everything I can to maybe increase the chances of Neo Shadows spawning in. Equipping Encounter Plus, leaving the world, restarting the game, but they did not want to spawn. It was truly infuriating, especially since they were gatekeeping the final part of this grind. All we needed to finish this grind was the stormy stones they dropped. But if they didn't even want to appear, well, all I get is to feel is the inevitable passage of time flowing forward, which is exactly what I want to do when trying to do something like this. I do not wish for entertainment. I wish to feel the inevitable draining of a limited resource from my body that can never be replenished. Or, in layman's terms, it fucking sucks. Thankfully, after dedicating 2.5 pages of this script to talk about grinding, we can finally move on and make it a montage instead. Whee! Damn, that's a lot of Bambi footage in here. But after a lot of grinding for the day, I took a break to finally fight one of the bonus bosses for real. Kurt Zia. Now, this is an interesting fight. At the start, Kurt Zeta will silence the party and create orbs in its hands. We'll have to destroy the orbs before we can cast any spells again, though we're still able to use techniques like Ragnarok. The start can be the most dangerous phase of the fight since we can't use Cure and most of Kurt's attacks are massive and deal a lot of damage. I recommend either casting Arrow or summoning Tinkerbell before you get silenced to get an edge. Once we break all the orbs, Kurt will fall over, you can attack its head. However, the head will flail at you and will still do damage. If you can, deflect the third strike it does. Stunning it will allow you to do as much damage as possible before Kurt gets back up and goes to the next phase. This is the Reflect Barrier phase. Here, you will have to cast magic on Kurt until the barrier breaks. The entire time, Kurt will be casting his own spells on you, like these tracking fireballs, and these tornadoes, which I swear to God, hit me every single time. Honestly, this phase sucks. Not because it's hard or the magic is difficult to avoid, but just because it's this.
Thunder! 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 Thunder!
Now that's what I call gaming. Since you have to use magic on Kurt, you might be wondering what happens if you run out of MP. Well, don't worry, each time he's hit, he drops MP prizes you can pick up. But Donald and Goofy can pick them up too, oh for fuck's sake! But once we do enough damage, the barrier breaks and Kurt is vulnerable once more. Again, the head flails around, so keep the strategy we discussed in the first phase in mind. And once Kurt gets back up, he goes back into his silence phase. But this time he can use this move. I truly hate it because not only is it unblockable, the hitbox is about the size of Seto Kaiba's ego. And what the fuck is this tracking? This single goddamn move is the result of nearly all of my failed attempts against Kurt. It is so rough, but this time, I'm rougher. I should get some moisturizer for that, but we got him! This gives us Zantetsuken. Similarly to Stun Impact, Zantetsuken has a 30% chance to be your ground finisher. The difference is that Zan will deal about 250% of the enemy's current HP. You know, just assuming they aren't resistant to gravity, since this also does the same damage. It will not help us against the next bonus boss we fight, Phantom. This is a unique fight because it's one of the few times in the series that the spell Doom actually shows up. Phantom will cast Doom on Sora and the Clock Tower, so to stop it from killing us, we have to cast Stop on the Clock Hands. So make sure your magic is big for this one, and you're well stocked on MP restores, you're gonna need them. The other part that's unique is that Phantom can only be damaged by specific elements depending on the color of his heart. What's annoying is that you can only attack him when the heart is visible, and there's nothing you can do to speed up the process of him getting the heart out. You just have to wait and avoid one of two attacks Phantom can do. Though I say that like they're not dangerous, they are, especially this one. I know I keep saying it, but use Arrow, for God's sake. And, well, I know it's brief, but that's all there is to Phantom. I do like the idea of it being vulnerable to elements and having to keep using Stop on the Clock Tower, but yeah, it's not interesting. I guess him flying around looks pretty funny though. But defeating Phantom upgrades Stop the final time, giving us Stopka. Now I can stop the world. And after a good amount of material grinding once again, we finally go back to Olympus to do the gold match. Fight the Ice Titan again, but this time for real. The Ice Titan is one of the most obnoxious fights in the game. First of all, do not get close to him. The Ice Titan loves to stomp on the ground, and it does a lot of damage and is unblockable, so keep your distance. Instead, we have to deflect the ice bullets he fires back at him. At first, you might think to use Aragos since, it'll deflect the shots back automatically. Unfortunately, Square Enix thought of this, and it turns the bullets into unblockable ones if you do that, so we're gonna have to do this manually. Jumping and doing about 2 attacks then landing is a pretty reliable way to deflect them. You can block like I did, but because Kingdom Hearts 1 doesn't let you block again, you'll likely get hit afterwards. That's not the only thing you have to worry about. Sometimes the Ice Titan will slam his hand into the ground, which causes ice pillars to spawn near you. Keep moving, use dodge roll, and you'll usually be safe. Once we deflect enough of the ice bullets, the Ice Titan will fall over and we can finally wail on him for a bit. Ragnarok is very strong here, as is Firaga, since it can be pretty difficult to hit him with air combos. But don't stay around for too long because of course he'll punish you when he gets up. And now he has cool new moves, like summoning ice blocks from above us, which I'm pretty sure are designed to catch you for trying to block the ice bullets. Speaking of said bullets... Surprise, it's a bullet hell now. You know, it's funny looking back on this footage and seeing how much the game is screaming at me to deflect the bullets with attacks rather than blocking. But the fatal flaw with your boy is sometimes he gets extremely nearsighted with his problems. Speaking of problems, make sure you're watching the Ice Titan a little more closely. He took some breath mints and he really wants to share his new minty fresh breath with Sora. This will freeze you in place, so jump to avoid it. But there's one more move the Ice Titan has when he's at low health. Diamond Dust. That's it. That's the amazing Final Fantasy attack Diamond Dust. That was just a bunch of particle effects. And really, there's nothing else to talk about. It's just 10 minutes of deflecting bullets and getting frozen. I won't lie, it's really not that fun. While I'm all about turning an enemy's attacks against themselves, the fact that we do dick all for damage when the Ice Titan's actually vulnerable does not feel like a good reward for playing well. This fight really came out here and said, I hope you like doing the same thing for 10 minutes. Hey, at least the cutscene for beating him was fun to watch. I broke part of his foot and now he doesn't know what to do anymore. Oh. Judgment! Well, that was stupid. But not only that, we also get the Diamond Dust keychain, and while I think this keychain just looks horrible, stats don't lie. This is the best magic keychain in the game. But we've had our fun. It's time for the grind again, whee! There's not much left to cover in terms of unique fights, just lots of grinding. Thank you, Squeenix. There's one more thing we have to talk about, and that's the Jungle Slider minigame, baby! Get those fruits, Sora! You're not coming home tonight! That's what I thought. During this entire grind, we got up to level 80. The most important of the skills we learned were Slapshot and Blitz. Slapshot is an attack Sora uses when he's close to an enemy, replacing his normal shitty swing with a quick uppercut. Extremely helpful and has a higher crit chance, so, you know, put it on. As for Blitz, it's a ground finisher, but since it scales off of strength, I didn't use it and stuck with Ripple Drive instead. But for you strength builds out there, give it a shot. But with the grind getting close to being complete, you'd think I would wait until we got the ultimate weapon. But why would I be sensible when instead I can fight one of the most difficult bosses in the game? Time to fight Lance Bass from NSYNC. That's really Sephiroth's voice actor in this game, by the way, just a reminder. Sephiroth is, as I'm sure most of you have expected, a nightmare to fight. He hits hard, has big reach, tons of magic attacks, multiple phases, and he is completely immune to your magic. Tony, play the death montage, please. Cool boss. A cool boss. So how do we not end up as a Sora-colored paste on the floor? Well, a lot of things. One of the best strategies during the first phase is spamming Strike Raid. Since you're invincible while using it, and it can hit from long range, you can chip away at Sephiroth's billion health and be completely safe. You can keep this up until around his second phase, where the fight really begins. During the second and third phase, Sephiroth can teleport behind you and you'll hear him say, Heartless Angel. Immediately attack him before he finishes this, or else you're dropped to 1 HP. The rest of this phase can be just as brutal since Sephiroth loves to run around and quickly attack. I'd advise still using Strike Raid here since most of Sephiroth's attacks are, you guessed it, unblockable. Though even the ones that you can block tend to stagger Sora, so you'll usually get hit by a follow-up even if you do block. But the most deadly attack Sephiroth has during this phase is Wild Dance. While I was able to block it, using Strike Raid or avoiding the damage outright with a Leaf Racer also works well too. Really, the pattern of spamming Strike Raid is just kind of a fucking constant throughout a lot of these bonus fights, but we'll get there. Finally getting to phase 3, Sephiroth pulls out the big guns and uses Supernova. This summons fucking meteors from the sky that then spin around him while he makes a spirit bomb, and after a while, he'll throw it at us. The best way to deal with this is, well, the way we dealt with everything. Leaf Racer and Strike Raid. You know, I find it incredibly funny that Sephiroth, the big boy that everyone knows from Final Fantasy, has all of these super flashy attacks with tons of different things they designed for you to deal with, and you just shut off your brain and use Strike Raid or Leaf Racer to ignore it. Honestly, during all this bullshit with phase 3, Strike Raid saves the day, and that's it. We did it. We beat one of the most difficult bosses in the entire game. Now, I made it sound simple, but it took me over an hour to get here. Tony, play the death montage again, but faster this time. The being Sephiroth makes him explode and gives us the one winged angel keychain. It's very strength oriented and actually reduces your max MP by 2. This can actually reduce your MP to 0 if you're doing a 0 XP run and didn't select the Dream Rod at the start, by the way. But hey, it can do big crits, so if that's what you're looking for, there you go. And as we leave, Cloud confronts Sephiroth finally. Sephiroth, of course, goads Cloud to give into the darkness, which Cloud, of course, refuses. They then do a sick air battle and disappear. See you guys in Kingdom Hearts 2. Well, time to wrap up the grind. And just 30 minutes after being Sephiroth, I did it. I finally got enough materials and acquired the Ultima Weapon, and it is glorious.
Ultima Weapon, craft it. We did it. Oh my god, there it is. Alright. Yeah, there it is. Look at that big ass thing. It's so big it's clipping through the floor. Yeah, this is basically just a sword with a bunch of shit welded to it, basically. Keyblade is so badass. It's great. I'm glad I took the time to get it. Donald and Goofy will not be getting their stuff because if I keep doing that, if I keep doing this, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
With that completed, there's only one more thing to do. Grind all the way to level 100. Yeah, boy, let's go. The fastest way to do this is to either run through the Hades Cup or to go to the Gizmo Shop in Traverse Town. I ended up doing both, but I usually prefer doing the Gizmo Shop the most.
Now we have had that discussion before. We did it. We did it. We're level 100. It's all over. We don't have to do this anymore. Get me the fuck out of here. Oh my god. Get this shit off me. Oh, Jesus Christ. We're finally free. It's over.
Getting all the way to level 100, we learn a lot of extra skills, with the most important being Second Chance at level 90. This allows us to survive a lethal blow with 1 HP, and it's one of the best defensive skills in the entire series, so turn it on. We also learn Vortex, and don't use it. It's basically a worse version of Sliding Dash that has no range, doesn't move you very far, and is learned extremely late into the game regardless of which dream weapon you choose. I'm pretty sure Squeenix knew it was bad, so that's why they gave it to you so late in the final mixed versions of the game. But with this achieved, we have one final thing to do. An important fight that foreshadowed the events of the future. Returning to Hollow Bastion, we enter a room we fought Maleficent in. There we find someone wearing a black coat. They walk through us, having Sora experience his own memories in a quick jumbled up mess. Sora then demands to know who the flipping flip this guy is before Goofy speculates it might be Ansem. You know, despite this happening to him, but whatever. While the person comments saying that the name is familiar, he refuses to elaborate and attacks us instead. They even say Sora is like them. Incomplete. What does this mean? Well, you'll just have to find out next time on Kingdom Hearts Z. For now, we have a boss fight. This is Unknown, a mysterious figure that's so mysterious they didn't even give them a voice actor. And if you play Kingdom Hearts 2, you know who this is. But in Kingdom Hearts 1, it's very similar to how Sephiroth's played out, just a bunch of projectiles on the field and you gotta deal with them. Not only that, but Unknown also loves to block you with this shield if you try to attack them, and usually follows up with a combo with their legally distinct lightsabers. And the scariest move they have is grabbing Sora with electricity and inflicting a status that changes our commands. We have to hit the command that says release to stop it from draining our health. Hitting shock damages and stuns us for a few precious seconds. Yet, despite this, and the fact that Unknown has a million billion projectile moves, I beat him in under 11 minutes. How? Strike Raid, baby! That's right, you thought this final secret boss would be difficult and have a whole 2 pages of script dedicated to him? Nope, Strike Raid! GG, shake my hand! With Unknown's defeat, they compliment Sora on a fair fight that he totally didn't spam one move. Sora asks him who he is, but they, of course, just refuse to answer us, warning that the Kingdom Hearts series is far beyond our comprehension right now. Unknown says they're simply a hollow shell before they disappear, giving us the final Ansem report and the EXP necklace, which I could have used hours ago, but since we finally got all of Ansem's reports, we give them a read. It is very interesting to see Ansem's thoughts about the Heartless and how he's the one that made the artificial Heartless machines. Thanks, jackass. But the most important entry is the final one. It asks the question of what happens to one's body when it loses its heart. It may appear to vanish, but it's actually appearing in a different world in another form. A being that is neither light nor darkness, and a mere shell of its former self that Ansem says cannot truly exist. He dubs this shell Nobody. Kingdom Hearts 1 is a very jank game. However, it is still a blast to play through. While it might be jank and the grind for the ultimate weapon is mind-numbing and made me want to go bald, I had a great time playing this game again. It's extremely interesting to see a game series I hold so dear have such a humble beginning, especially considering the nightmare of webs I still have to untangle as we go along in this series. I'm really not looking forward to that, but hey, at the end of the day, I had a good time. I will say, this project took far longer than I expected. It wasn't just due to the scope becoming far larger and out of my control, but the combo of me struggling with my mental health, a massive heat wave during the production, and a lot of stress from a group project I was in. All of this completely killed my ability to, well, exist. I guess I'm a nobody now. Seriously, if you can, I highly recommend taking time to take care of your mental health. It has done me wonders. But we're back again, and I'm glad to be working on stuff once more. It's really funny, you know that quote I had at the start of this? Yeah, this one. I made this to have something like the opening quote of Kingdom Hearts 1, yet ironically, it kind of became indicative of the entire journey I went on while creating this video. Life is strange that way, yeah? But I'm back. And hopefully, the next Mega Man X game I work on will be a shorter project than this was. I mean, I know it will be. Mega Man X doesn't have hours of cutscenes I have to talk about. But now, I'm gonna take a rest. I'll see you guys next time. Take care of yourselves. I'm rooting for you.